Hey friends, welcome to another Wolverine live stream. My name is Courtney and I am the owner of the Wolverine here on YouTube. I'm just popping on because I'm bored on this Sunday evening and just thought I would give you guys all an update on how things are going. So, as most of you know, at least my subscribers should know by now, I am in the process of recovering from a hip surgery. Is my mic not working, you guys? Anyway, I'm in the process of recovering from a hip surgery actually 2 hip surgeries on my right hip. And I am preparing to have surgery on my left hip in a couple of months' time. And previously in my videos, I have stated that I only had to have 3 surgeries. I needed to have what's called a periacetabular osteotomy and labral reconstruction on my left hip, and then just the labral reconstruction on my right hip. Well, I had a follow-up with my surgeon last week, and he actually told me that I do need the periacetabular osteotomy on my left hip as well. So I will be having a total of 2 more surgeries, which is 4 altogether, which is kind of a bummer. But at the same time, my right hip is doing so well. Like compared to what it was, it's night and day. It's a new life. It really is. It's so much better than it was. I'm almost to the point where I'm walking without crutches, although my left hip has been getting worse since surgery because I've been relying on it so much. And so I have to have both surgeries on the left side as well. So 4 surgeries instead of 3. Hey, Dan, I'm good. How are you? I just figured I would pop on because there's nothing else going on at my house right now, and it's been a while. I haven't done a live in couple of weeks or so, and just wanted to see how everybody was doing and talk a little bit about what's going on with me. You're just doing okay? I hope you're doing okay. I hope that's the truth. I know I always say I'm fine, and that usually means I'm not fine. It's good to see you too. Um, I'm trying to get a little bit more consistent about popping on here. I was doing updates really consistently right after surgery, but honestly, it's been kind of boring because there's not really anything to update right at the moment. So I have PT on Wednesday, I think, this week. Oh, I did. Okay, so I do have one thing to say. I think it was Monday. I had a terrible rib dislocation. For those of you that are watching this later and don't know, I have a connective tissue disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which results in a lot of dislocated joints, including my ribs. And on Monday of last week, I had the absolute worst rib dislocation I've ever had in my life. It was bad enough that I actually went into the emergency room, which I never do because they're useless. But I went into the emergency room and they treated me like a drug seeker, which I somewhat expected. And when they went to take an x-ray, they had me put my arms above my head and take a deep breath. And of course, it popped back in right before they took the x-ray with loud pop. It was so loud that the tech came running to make sure that I was okay. And I was actually much better than I had been the entire time because my rib had popped back in. So that happened on Monday night. And then my Tuesday of last week, I was just kind of like stuck in bed. I did not feel well. I was recovering. Whatever med they gave me, it wasn't a painkiller. It was an anxiety med because it's all in my head, right? So they gave me an anxiety med, and I felt so hungover the next day. So that happened. And then yesterday, I had a memorial. I went to a memorial for my high school best friend. Her mom passed. So I went to that, and then today I just stayed home. I didn't really do anything because I'm exhausted. I did make some not spiced, mulled cider last night, so that was fun. I made some fresh mulled cider with cardamom and cinnamon and cloves and um, black pepper and allspice, and it came out so good, you guys. So I don't know who all knows this and who doesn't, but I am an herbalist, a certified clinical herbalist, and I was going to tell you all that mulled cider is actually a really good remedy for a common cold. It shortens the duration of the cold, and if you are around somebody who has a cold and you drink mulled cider, it's really good at preventing you from getting the cold. So, oh, you saw the picture, Dean? Yeah, it had orange slices, lemon juice, and then all those spices I just mentioned. And I don't measure. I measure with my heart. I just kind of throw it in there and see how it goes. It came out really good. I actually just had a cup a little bit before popping on, and lovely, absolutely lovely. So that's what I've been up to. There hasn't really been much to report. Um, I am working on, let's see if it's around here, if I have to get up to go get it somewhere. Oh, it's right here. So I am working on some socks, some knitted socks, and I actually finished the one. My daughter requested that they not match. So there's the one. And then I thought I had finished this one, but it turns out that I miscounted my rows, and so it ended up being really stumpy. So now I had to frog it, and now I'm back to this point where it really needs to be blocked. It looks kind of icky. But anyway, I'm to this point. So now I just have to do the toe basically. I have like 4 or 5 more rows, and then I start the toe decreases. So I'm knitting some socks. I decided to take a break from that because after you frog something, you're a little bit mad at it. I don't want to take my rage out on my daughter's little socks. I know they don't match. She requested that they not match. So in case anybody's watching this, they're like, those don't match. I know. I'm aware. She doesn't want them to match. She never wears matching socks. Right now, as I'm talking to you guys, I am working with black yarn, which everybody loves. I am making a hat for a friend of mine for her daughter for winter. She lives up in South Dakota where it gets super cold, so I'm making hats for her daughters. I make hats, and I usually make mittens and hats for both of her daughters every year, but I don't actually have enough of this yarn to make mittens, so she's just getting a really toasty hat this year. So that's what I am up to. And then the plan is, I think I'm just going to start making a bunch more baby blankets because everybody I know seems to be pregnant again. It's like waves of pregnancies happening. But that's all that's going on in my little corner of the world. How is everybody? Deanne, how are you doing? How's your health? How are you feeling? I don't know who else is here, but we have 2, so it looks like somebody else is here. Whoever else is here, hi, how's it going? I don't mind lurkers. I understand. I'm a shy person myself when I'm in other people's lives. So, one thing is I'm stuck because I have to have. Okay, so I took time off to have this surgery, right? I own the Crow Boutique on Etsy. I'm a certified clinical herbalist. I make products and sell them. I took time off to have this surgery, and I wasn't working. So I decided from March until now not to work because I had to have surgery, and I knew the recovery was going to be hard and long. So before surgery, I just wanted to spend as much time with my kids and my husband as possible. And then after surgery, of course, I'm recovering. So I took that time off. And thinking that I was only going to have one surgery on the left side, I thought, hi, Lori. I thought I would be able to go back to work in between. But now it looks like I'm going to have 2 surgeries on the left side as well. And I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if I should like do a mad dash to make a bunch of products and stock my Etsy store before my next surgery, or if I should just wait until after my next surgery and recovery to start again. But at that point, it will have been like a year. And so I guess I have like this fear of my business feeling, although it's always been pretty small, but it's always picked up really fast again when I've stopped working. So being disabled makes it a challenge to run a business. How are you, Lori? I was just asking Deanne how she's doing. And just talking a little bit about how I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my business while I go through this surgical nonsense. But I thought maybe I could like make just a ton of stuff in between now and the next surgery and stock my Etsy because then my husband could just pack orders and ship them for me. And I think I might do that if I have the energy. Because a lot of my friends use my badass balm and they're all out of it. And they're like, we need badass balm. And I don't want to let them down, but at the same time, I'm trying to do that whole self-care thing that people are always talking about, so that I don't seem to be very good at. But the good news is that everything is healing the way that it's supposed to. Everything's healing beautifully, actually. My doctor said it looks better than he expected at this point. So that's great. And I know I'm making huge strides in PT, but I got to tell you, I'm not looking forward to having the same surgery on the other side. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Deanne, to get a little bit more income. Like, I did finally get approved for disability this year, so back in September, literally like a month ago. So, oh, hi, Jackie. So yeah, I don't know. I'm on the struggle bus just mentally. I'm dealing with that feeling of like I'm not producing and therefore I'm worthless, and I know that that's not true, but just being a mom, being disabled, being a business owner, being a wife, I feel like I'm not carrying my weight and that's driving me insane. Um you're on disability too. Yeah, I get like $500 a month for disability, which is, as you know, enough to live like a queen here in America. But it is helpful. It has been helpful and I appreciate it. It's just, I would like to be able to do more. Hi, Denise. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Laura. Hi, everybody. It's the most people I've had on in a while. I mean, granted, I haven't done one of these in a while. So, um, what is everybody working on? Does everybody here crochet or knit? I'm wondering because I feel like I get a mix of people. Some of them are here for the chronic illness stuff. Some of them are here for like yarny stuff. Some of them are just here because I'm amazing and everybody loves me. Um, but yeah, what are you guys all working on? If anybody crocheting anything interesting right now? Anybody knitting anything interesting right now? I feel like I talk so much about like my disease that it takes over my life, so I'd rather just talk about fun things like yarn. You don't crochet or knit? That's okay, Jackie. Do you craft at all? Do you do anything crafty? It's okay if you don't. I know a lot of people that aren't very crafty. Oh, I love you too, Jackie. So I know Jackie from Facebook. She's like one of my Facebook besties. So I appreciate you being here, dear. It's good to see you. Well, to see you. I should have done like a better backdrop. I finally put up this other tapestry that I have. I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but it's like a Celtic. Well, it'll get really dark in here if I close it. It's like a Celtic tree of life. I gotta tell you, it blocks out so much of the light that I have been sleeping so hard. And then I got my daughter's art gallery over here. So you're crocheting the ghost in your picture? That's awesome. Somebody posted on the Yarny group that I run on Facebook. They posted these cute little ghosts. This is my friend Katie. She posted these cute little ghosts, but I thought they were popcorn. Both knit and crochet, Lori. That's awesome. Are you working on anything super super fun right now? Excuse me while I hydrate with Dr. Pepper. I had a sugar craving today, so I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper. You have so many things started, Deanne. I know how that goes. I've been trying to be diligent about like only working on one project at a time. It's impossible. It's impossible. I have so many things I want to start on. And like without even a plan, I just want to start new things all the time. I'm like a whipaholic. You're in a year blanket crochet along and just started Christmas crochet. That's awesome. I will never ever crochet Christmas gifts ever again. I've decided never. Nope, not doing it. That's way too much work. I made handmade toys for all of my nieces and nephews and my kids a couple years ago, and no, I'm good. It's a lot of work, It just feels like too much. Oh, that's awesome. You're having a reenactment group fundraiser. What do you reenact, Lori? Is it like medieval or Civil War? I mean, there's so many different reenactment groups, which I'm surprisingly like friends with a lot of people that are in reenactment groups. I didn't realize how many people I know that do that. I think it's awesome. Civil War. That's really cool, Lori. I like that. Do you do it like educationally or just for fun? Because I know, like, there's some places where they do Civil War reenactments, like, on the battlefield and stuff for kids that come for, field trips or whatever. I always thought that would be really fun to do. But I could reenact one of the people sitting there watching a battle, like, at a picnic. Can you guys believe that people used to do that? They used to, like, pack a picnic lunch and bring their kids and go sit on the battlefield and watch people kill each other. Like, that's what the heck? Like, that's it messes with my head when I think about it. I'm like, "What?" But I guess they didn't have TV, so I don't think that I have the stomach for that sort of thing. I mean, the reenactment, sure, but, like, actual war, obviously, no, not so much. Oh god, I feel you there, Denise, I do. Well, I have one big project that I've been neglecting, and I'm thinking about frogging. It's the, Cottywomple blanket, and it's huge. It's a huge project, and I wanna start over. And then I've got the socks that I'm working on. I just showed Deanne a little bit ago. I'll show you guys too. So these are socks for my daughter, and I finished one of them, and I'm almost done with the other. I actually thought I had finished it, but I miscounted my rows, so it came out really stumpy. And when she tried it on, it didn't fit. So the heel was like in the middle of her foot. So I've got to add some more length to the foot before I put the toe on. So got to put the toe and then I'll be done. And then, as I was telling Deanna, I'm working on it's a beanie with black yarn, but it's thick black yarn, so it's not too much of a hassle. And then I think I actually think oh no, and then I'm also working on a sweater for myself. I cast on my first knit sweater, and I don't know how I feel about that one either, so I might frog that as well. I just keep stopping and starting. You crocheted your first sock like 2 months ago, but haven't started the other one yet. I do not like crocheted socks. I feel like I can feel every stitch on my foot. So I decided to learn how to knit specifically so that I could make socks. But I feel you. I did that with mittens, Deanna. I made my first knit mitten and I never made the other one. I literally never made the other one. I still have one knitted mitten. Thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate that. I would show you my cottywomple, but I have no idea where it's at, and I'm not as mobile as I normally am. Otherwise, I'd get up and grab it, but I'm not sure where I put it because I'm not working on it currently. Do you guys ever have whips that just sit in your closet or in your basket for like years at a time? Oh, Deanne, I thought I could never learn how to knit. I was so convinced I would never learn how to knit, and then I did. There is this YouTuber. You guys are gonna get shaky because I'm putting you on my lap. There is a YouTuber called Nimble Needles. His name is Norman, and he has a blog. He does a whole free knitting school on his blog. And then on YouTube, he has lessons for like everything from casting on to he does, he'll teach you how to do fair isle, anything you want to do. He teaches all of it. And he is just such a sweetheart. You've been working on your bits and bob blanket for 2 years. Yeah, I have had a couple of projects that have taken me years, and I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of like making little things. I'm an instant gratification kind of person. Yeah, I have never been a monogamous crocheter. I've always had like, I don't know, at least two projects. So right now I have 2 knit and 2 crochet, so I have 4 altogether, which is like a very low number for me. But usually I do a lot of like amigurumi and little things so that they get done really fast, and baby blankets. I'm obsessed with making baby blankets, but I don't actually have any made right now. I usually have like a stash of them for whoever gets pregnant next, but everybody got pregnant, so now I'm out of blankets. Oh, Lori, I'm sorry, I didn't see that earlier that you said that you do it educational and for fun. I think that's awesome. I love the costumes that come along with the Civil War reenactments. Those dresses are just absolutely glorious. Um, for me, I really like the hoop skirts, the old-fashioned big hoop skirts. I don't think I could wear one in my wheelchair, but maybe if I was crutching it. I'd have to figure out maybe I could just sit on a horse the whole time. Oh wow, we got 6 people. That's so exciting. I mean, I don't really feel like I have anything that interesting to say today. I just was bored, so I wanted to come and say hi to you guys because I've been sort of antisocial lately. I'll be honest. I've been really antisocial lately. And I have been finding myself isolating more and more, and that's usually a sign that I need to like socialize. Um, but yeah, yesterday I had to socialize for a couple hours, and it was difficult because it was a friend's. So my best friend in high school, her mom passed away. So yesterday was her memorial service. So I went to that. And yeah, it's been pretty antisocial otherwise. I haven't really gone anywhere, done anything since surgery, except like PT and stuff. So I'm finally getting back to a point where I feel kind of like socializing. Although, to be honest with you, people are exhausting. And I have like such little energy most of the time since surgery. I just feel tired all the time. And so the idea of going anywhere and like peopling doesn't sound that appealing. But I do always enjoy my time here on YouTube. Well, hi there, Barbara. Hi from my little corner of Kentucky. Oh, well, hello from Colorado. Uh, Usually don't make blankets. Yeah, blankets do take a really long time. I like making baby blankets. You inherited a whip? I have a whip from my grandma too. She's making a floral hexie blanket before she got sick and then died almost 2 years ago. I'm so sorry for your loss. I would love to see that if you ever finish it. I am sure it is going to be beautiful. I have a whip from my grandma. She is still with us, thankfully, but she passed it on because her hands, she can't knit anymore. So she sent it to me, and I'm going to finish it as soon as I get good enough at knitting. But it's really good to see everybody here. I don't know where I met everybody, but I know a few of you from Facebook, and I know a few of you from various different YouTube channels. Oh, yesterday would have been your mom's 80th birthday. I went to a memorial yesterday. That's interesting. It's the cycle, huh? Grandma was 98. That's amazing. My great grandma lived to be 98 years old. And she was still cooking, like up until the day that she died. She made chicken and dumplings and pies and everything. And she was one of those ladies that always wore pearls and jewelry out. She never ever went to the grocery store without getting dressed. Like she had to get dressed. And I mean dressed. I don't mean just like jeans and a t-shirt. I mean she would put on a dress and her makeup, do her hair, put on her pearls, grab her purse, and then we would go to the grocery store. But she absolutely refused to be seen without makeup on. I'm obviously not that way. Where is everybody from? So we've got somebody here from Kentucky. I'm here in Colorado. Deanna, I actually don't think I know where you're from. You just live in my computer. Indiana. Oh, of course, Indiana. Okay. Mississippi. Oh, I love Mississippi. How are you doing down there, Lori? What part of Mississippi are you from? I used to live in Georgia when I was really little, and then we moved to North Carolina, and then we moved to Colorado. I had a speech impediment when I was little, and I also had a southern accent. And then we moved to Colorado, and I got picked on so bad that I went to speech therapy for years. And it got rid of my accent and my stutter and my speech impediment. But I've always loved the South. Like Mississippi was one of my favorite places to visit when I was little. You're also in Indiana. I think I knew that, Jackie. I feel like I knew that. Southern California. Awesome. Oh, you're around Jackson. Okay, cool. Oh, hi, Melanie. It's good to see you. Where are you from, Melanie? I just asked everybody where they're all from. I'm from Colorado. I'm from Aurora, Colorado, which is just southeast of Denver, about, oh, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes from Denver, really close. Excuse me while I drink some more Dr. Pepper. I'm like a Dr. Pepper commercial. Oh, you're from Missouri. That's awesome. Are you anywhere near the big river, as they say? Oh, you were born in Indiana? That's awesome. I have so many friends in Indiana, mostly from my yarn group. My friend Karen invited a whole troop. So I became friends with a lot of her friends, and now the group is overrun with Indianers. Indianites? I don't know what you guys call yourselves. Oh my gosh, Lori, that's so funny. That's how I am too. I have to get really upset or really excited, or I have to be around somebody with a southern accent, and then it comes out. Hoosiers. How long have you been married, Lori? My husband, when he first heard it, he thought I was just messing with him, and now he thinks it's cute. He's like, "You don't have to hide that, you know." I'm like, "Oh, but I do." Kids are mean. You know, they left such emotional scars that for the longest time I was afraid to let any kind of southern accent come out. Oh, congratulations. 4 years. That's awesome. I will be married 9 years next month. So, to my best friend from high school. Although we did not get married right out of high school, obviously. It took me being kind of a fuddy duddy for several years before I finally realized how wonderful my best friend was. So, oh, you're not far from Kokomo. That's where my stepmom is from. Kokomo, Indiana. I'm not saying anything bad about Kokomo. It just happens to be where the Wicked Witch from the Wicked Witch of the East is from. So, is anybody watching any good shows? You lived in Kokomo. That's awesome. You were born at. Oh, were you born on the Air Force Base? That's pretty awesome. I'm always looking for new shows to watch while I'm crocheting because it has to be something I can listen to and I don't have to actually watch. Do you guys do that too? Like I could listen to a podcast, but I don't. Outlander. Everybody keeps recommending Outlander, Lori. I guess I should probably watch it. I feel like I think it was Karen that told me to watch Outlander. I did just put The Serpent Queen on my playlist. I have not watched it yet, but I added it to my playlist. My husband and I have been binge watching The X-Files lately. Which, who doesn't love The X-Files? Supernatural? More like reruns. Yeah, that's funny. I actually had a friend recommend Supernatural to me for the first time last week. So I keep getting these repeat recommendations. I guess I should probably watch some of these shows, huh? You usually have the TV on for noise and you don't actually really watch it. Yeah, that's kind of what I do too. Does anybody else hate crocheting with black yarn? Not with your kids, a lot of sex. I'm lost. Okay. Don't watch Supernatural with your kids. Is that what you should? Okay. Don't watch Supernatural with your kids. Or don't watch Outlander. I'm not sure which one we're talking about now. I just saw not with your kids, a lot of sex. I don't know what we're talking about. My kids, they both like to watch their own stuff on their computers. So, like, a lot of times, Ayla will watch, there's this cartoon called Clarence that she really likes, which is really cute. Outlander has sex. Okay, well, I don't think I would watch it with my kids anyway. It doesn't seem like a very kid-friendly show. You just finished your second Golden Black Fierce Dragon crochet project, Barbara, or knitting project, or is that it? Sorry, you guys, I'm lost. I'm lost. But don't feel bad. It does not take very much at all for me to get lost. Outlander has a lot of sex. Okay, so Outlander, don't watch with the kids. It has a lot of sex. And then Barbara's talking about dragons. So Barbara, you just finished your second golden black fierce dragon. Is that a project that you were working on? Is it knit or crochet? Does anybody else like to make crocheted toys? I keep telling myself I'm never going to make anything but crocheted toys, and then of course I never make any crocheted toys. For a while I was making nothing but crocheted toys, and now I'm working on a cardigan and socks and a hat, and I miss making dolls. I want to get back into that. Yeah, it's just so fun. I made a bacon and egg scarf a couple years ago for a friend for Halloween. And I just loved it. I love making things for kids. I really do love making things for kids. Yeah, I hate black yarn. They asked for a black beanie though. So this is a hat for my friend Marion passed away in September of last year, and she and I were really good friends, and she was always talking about her grandkids. And so I've always sent her grandkids up hats and mittens and things each winter. And so this year they asked for her granddaughter asked for a black hat. So I'm making her a black hat. And then her other granddaughter asked for a white hat, so that'll be next. I much prefer working with white, but it's chunky yarn. I don't know if you guys can see how thick this is. You know, it's this Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick. So it's not too bad. Usually I don't use black yarn, but I love my friend Marion, and if her grandkids want a black hat, then that's what they're getting because they're spoiled. Because I spoil them. Yeah, it's working up quick. I just started it right before I started the live, and I'm already to this point. So I do love the thick yarn for quick projects. I'm debating whether or not to put a puffball on it because I think that would be cute. I'm also debating whether or not I think I'm going to do some textured stitches when I get down into the body of the hat. You have 2 cardigans going, one is knit and one is crochet. I did start a knit cardigan. If it's close by, I'll grab it, but I think I put it. I'm melting. I do have it. Let's see. Yes, for my teenage grandsons, they have to make an aqua and baby pink sleepy dragon for my teenage granddaughter, and 2 different green dragons for my daughter. Their mom, I get to choose the type. Oh, that's so cool, Barbara. I love that. This is not the project that I thought I was grabbing. This is something else entirely. Let me see if it's in here. I don't think it's in here. I think it's in my other bag. Sorry, I didn't mean to bonk that. Yeah, it's in my other bag. It's not very exciting though. It's like 10 rows of a knitted cardigan. So, and I might frog it. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided. Some projects I get really excited about, and other projects feel like a chore. And this one kind of feels like a chore. Like not this one, but the cardigan I'm making. And I feel like I've noticed that there's a pattern that if I'm making it for myself, it feels like a chore, and I don't understand. I don't understand that, but that just seems to be the way that it goes, and so I need to work on that. I don't know. Oh, we lost a couple people. I guess I'm kind of boring. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing my best. Yeah, I spend a lot of time in bed, Denise. I'm recovering from hip surgery, so this is kind of where I live right now. Even before hip surgery, I kind of lived here because I have a connective tissue disease that causes a lot of issues with my joints. And I'm just now getting to the point where I can sit in a chair comfortably for an extended period. So, oh, thank you, Deanne. I appreciate that. I always feel like I don't have anything to say, but Deanne's always like, no, I love hanging out with you, which Deanne never misses my live. She's been at every single one, I think. Or she might have missed one, but she's at most of them. She's my cheerleader. I appreciate you, Deanne. I do like the YouTube lives because it just kind of feels like hanging out. It doesn't really feel, at least for me, it doesn't feel that formal. I know some people take it really seriously, but on this channel, it's just my personal channel. It's not too serious. I do have a business channel that I have not added any content to in like 2 years. Um, and I know I'm going to get more serious about that when I get back to work, whenever that is. I'm hoping that surgery recovery for the other side will go a lot faster. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Lori. It's so hard to live with chronic pain. I have, so Ehlers-Danlos syndrome basically is a connective tissue disease that I was born with. And normal people have collagen strands that look like this, right? They're all tightly woven together and they hold everything, and they're not very stretchy. With Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, the type that I have, which is type 3, my collagen looks kind of like this, and it's really stretchy. It's like knitted fabric. It is so stretchy. And so I have multiple joint dislocations every day, and my hips were the worst. They were the absolute worst joints in my body, especially my right hip. And so this about 8 weeks ago, I had surgery to reconstruct my labrum and my teres ligament and to tighten the joint capsule. And then I had surgery about 6 weeks ago to um, move. It's called a periacetabular osteotomy, and it's to move. So, like, you have this is your femur, right? And the ball socket that goes into the joint. And then this is the socket that it goes into. And with normal people, it sits like this. And with me, it was like this because I had hip dysplasia. So they cut it and moved it over, and now it's like this. So I no longer have hip dysplasia in my right hip. But that's the surgery I'm recovering from, which is pretty intense. It takes a year to recover from, so slow and steady and all that. You started doing CALs, so I have something to do. Yeah, it stresses me out to have a deadline. I like to do crochet alongs after they've already been done. My favorite one so far was the Helen Shrimpton's Sacred Space. It took me like a year. It's supposed to take like 12 weeks or something. It took me like a year to do. So don't stress out about, this is what we do for our mental health. It shouldn't be stressful. It should be relaxing and fun. But I totally feel what you mean. Like, anytime I feel like there's a deadline, I get so stressed. Depends on if the cardigan is knit or crochet. I'm always in bed. 2, I had rectal cancer. I have an ostomy bag for life, but I'm here. Well, I'm so glad you're here, Denise. I'm sorry to hear that you had cancer, but I'm really glad that you're here. Are you in remission? I will say a prayer for you, my friend. I just lost a friend to cancer not even a month ago, so I have a soft spot in my heart for people who are battling cancer. I know how hard it can be. Yeah, deadlines give me panic attacks too. The ones you're doing, you have to have something done monthly, and it's stressing me. Oh, I'm sorry, Deanne. You can quit at any time. That's what I always tell myself. That's where you're at too. Yeah, I feel like almost all of us are. I don't know if everybody here has a chronic illness, but I feel like most of us do. I tend to have a little congregation of people with chronic illnesses. I think we kind of flock together. It's a hard life. I don't know what just happened to my screen. Can somebody type something into the chat really quick? Oh no. Oh, there you are, Dean. Okay. I don't know what. Okay, so sometimes, and I don't know if this happens to anybody else, Sometimes my chat box will go totally black, and so it looks like there's nobody there, and then everybody will reappear again. So thank you, Deanne. Let's see, where was I? I said that's where I met with Lori. Finishing since the year is about over. It is almost over. You'll be doing things differently next year. I feel that in my soul. Oh wait, I lied. I have 5 whips because I'm also doing the Nature's Walk crochet along. But I don't know if I'm going to continue that one or not. You have several disorders plus you're a cancer survivor, or I'm so glad that you're still here. Yeah, we do understand what each other's going through. Well, and this is like my social life, this is the most social I get unless I have something like yesterday I had to go to a memorial service, but for the most part I'm at home. So when I socialize, this is it. This is what I have the energy for. You've not worked since 2017. Yeah, I haven't worked since 2018. I have anxiety. I actually have PTSD. But my I loved working, but my health won't allow me. Just won't allow me. I mean, I do work part-time as an herbalist. Like I own my own business and I work part-time, but it's nowhere near enough to like run a home on or anything. It's not enough to disqualify me from disability. So I make hardly anything, but I do enjoy it and I do help people. So it's a little bit of income every month and I appreciate that. It's just I haven't been doing it since I found out I needed surgery in March. I decided that before surgery, I wanted to spend as much time as possible with my kids and my husband. And so we did. We had a great, lovely summer. We spent tons of time together and had a bunch of fun. And then this past, in August, I had my surgeries and now I'm recovering. And then I have to have the 2 surgeries on the left side. They're talking probably February, but maybe later. So, you know, it's hard to work with all that, I guess is the point. Almost impossible. I am hoping, though, I got a referral from my doctor to get a new wheelchair, and I'm hoping to get a new wheelchair. Hopefully, insurance will cover it because now that I've had the hip surgery, so everybody thinks that I should just get up and out of my wheelchair because I had hip surgery, but what they don't seem to realize is that I still have EDS and I still have POTS, and so I'm still at risk of passing out if I stand up too fast. I'm still at risk of knee and ankle dislocations, and the thing is that there are going to always be days that I need my wheelchair. And unfortunately, because I had the hip surgery that literally changed the shape of my pelvis, now the wheelchair that I have is incredibly uncomfortable for me. So I got a referral from my doctor for a new wheelchair fitting, and I'm hoping that insurance will cover it. So keep your fingers crossed for me. Um, but I'm not really looking forward to the process of getting fitted for a new wheelchair, especially when everybody's so excited about me being able to walk more. Like, I'm excited too, don't get me wrong. Being able to walk to the bathroom without dislocating is a huge, huge thing. But sometimes my surgeons get caught up in the idea that I'm going to just chuck my wheelchair out the door, which, of course, that would be nice, but people don't seem to realize that my wheelchair gives me freedom on days when I can't walk that far. So it's kind of silly. Without my wheelchair, I would just be stuck in bed all the time. Um, but anyway, even after I get both of my hips fixed, like it's not a cure for EDS, and so I'm still going to need my wheelchair because I have POTS. So on bad POTSy days, I'm going to need my wheelchair so I don't pass out. And then, oh, hi, Liz. And then on days when I have like a knee dislocation or something like that, I'm going to need my wheelchair. So I don't get to just check it out the door, unfortunately. Thank you so much, Janice. I appreciate that. And I pray for all of you guys too. I hope you know that. Like, I always, when I'm saying a prayer, I'm always praying for my subscribers. Like, I know I don't have that many, but I do cherish all of you. It's so good to see you, Liz. I'm so happy that you made it. I met Melanie at Liz's live the other day, and I met Liz at Liz's live the other day, although I was already subscribed to her, so I don't know. I must have thrown yarn in your window at a different live. I'm not sure. But I won a pattern from Liz. Well, I didn't win it, but somebody donated it to me yesterday, so that's exciting. But Yeah, I don't walk very much. I am able to walk with crutches for short distances, and that's gonna get longer with once all the surgeries are done. But even with all the surgeries, it's just easier for me and safer for me to use a wheelchair, especially outside of the house. But being able to walk around at home is awesome. And I'm excited for the day that I can do that without the crutches on a good day. It's like people don't seem to understand that it's not all black and white. It's not like you're in a wheelchair or you're out of a wheelchair. There are people like me that can walk, but sometimes we need a wheelchair. It's okay, Liz, it happens. I did not, by the way, Liz, I did not get an email from you, and I'm not sure if I sent the email to the right place. So can you let me know if you have an email for me? Thank you, Deanne. I'm very happy for me too. I'm mostly just happy that my hip isn't in pain anymore. Oh, thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. That is something like you hit the nail on the head right there, Denise. Like, I am so impatient with myself. I am so impatient. Like, I have so much patience for everybody else, right? I'm so compassionate and loving and understanding and patient and just kind to people. And then there's me. And I don't know what it is about me, but man, I am not nice to myself. I am working on it. I don't give myself any kind of grace. Like, I should just be able to do everything all the time. And obviously I can't do that. But for some reason, that seems to be the attitude I have towards myself. And I don't understand. Thank you, Liz. You don't have to check right now, but if you could just let me know, or like, because you told me to shoot you an email for that pattern, and I sent it, but I'm just not sure that I sent it to the right place. So is that how you are too? I'm so mean to myself. Like, why? I mean, I know a lot of it has to do with trauma. I'm sorry about this light, you guys. It's like, is that better? I know a lot of it has to do with trauma, but it's like, why can't I just be nice to myself? Hi, Miss C. How are you? You know what's funny about that though is like I'm impatient with myself and I'm like, I need to be nicer to myself. I need to take better care of myself. I need to love myself more. And then I get mad at myself for not being more patient with myself, not taking care of myself, and not loving myself more. And so it's like this cycle, right? It's like, I don't know. I frustrate myself because I just want to love myself. Hi, Jane. It's so good to see you, my sweet friend. How are you? Oh, it's so good to see everybody. I should do these more often. I actually was gonna go to Liz's live tonight, but she, had something come up, so I'm glad that I did this, and I'm glad that you came here, Liz. It's so nice to see you here. I do feel like my lives probably aren't quite as entertaining as Liz's because I don't have the little dance button, but maybe at some point in the future, I'll get one. I love this because to me, it just feels like you ever go to a stitch social where you're just, like, sitting there and stitching with a bunch of your friends? That's what this feels like to me. Like, my husband took my daughter with him to work, and so it's just me. I'm just at home. I think my father-in-law is home. He's downstairs, but just me. Yes, I know I should. I enjoy talking to you too, Deanne. I really enjoy doing these. And then it's funny because if I go long enough in between, I forget how much I enjoy doing these, and then I'll do another one. And then everybody shows up and tells me how much that they appreciate and love me. And it just feels, I always walk away from YouTube feeling better about myself. Yes, I want to do all what my brain wants to do, but oh, girl. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Like most of us, I think almost all of us in here have some sort of chronic illness or chronic pain issues. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome type 3. I have fibromyalgia. I have POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is where like if I stand up too fast, I pass out. And then I have gastroparesis, which is like a slow movement on my stomach. So sometimes I can't eat, and like that obviously makes all the other symptoms worse. So I feel you on that. Like there's a million things I want to do all the time. Like I have, and I do when I can. I have like my sewing machine, and then I have my herbalism, and then I have, yarn, and there's a million things I want to do on top of like cleaning my house and all these other things. And then your body's just like, nope, Your body's like, how about you sit down and do nothing for 6 hours because that's what you have the energy for. Let's see. Oh, Liz, did you get your recipe? Did you get your recipe, Liz? Oh, that's good. I love Missy. She sent me. Oh, it's not close enough where I would show everybody. I'll have to do a video about it. But Missy, I just cherish. So when she found my channel and we started talking, I was about to undergo my surgeries. I had a little bit of time before my surgeries, and she asked if she could send me a sun bunny. And I didn't know what a sun bunny was, so I said, yeah, sure, okay. And so I gave her my address, and she sent me the sweetest hand crocheted bunny. And like I'm a grown woman, so I feel like okay, maybe I shouldn't have stuffed animals. But here's the thing: I'm autistic, right? I'm high functioning autistic, and so Miss C does a lot with autistic teenagers and things. And she sent me this sun bunny, and when I when I first got it, I thought, okay, this thing's gonna sit on the shelf, and I'm gonna love it. I love looking at it; it's very cute, but I'm not gonna use it for anything. Well, after I had my surgery, I really kind of turned into a kid for a while. You know, I just would wake up, I was so scared and like having a really hard time. And then I had this sweet little purple bunny that Miss T sent me, and it brought me, I'm going to get emotional. It brought me so much comfort. And I sleep with it every night, you guys. I'm such a child, I know, but I do. I sleep with the little bunny that Miss T sent me every night. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing because what kind of stranger reaches out to somebody on the internet is just like, here, let me make you something, you know? And so that was really sweet. So that's Miss C, and how I know her is that she sent me a sun bunny that I will cherish until it falls apart. I'm telling you, it's the sweetest thing. And let's see, who else is here? Liz, I met you at somebody else's live like months and months ago. But I do know that somebody loves me. I really didn't expect that to mean as much to me as it did, Miss C. I mean, it really does mean a lot to me. I carry around a little, I think I have it right here. So the bunny is across the room. Otherwise, I would jump up and get it and I would show it to you guys because it's about the sweetest thing. Excuse all the noise while I dig through my backpack over here. I always keep a backpack next to my bed with all of my junk in it. Um, you know what? Since I have my calendar out, I should start scheduling these things, right? So I have this little piece of paper, Missy. Okay. I'm going to read it to you guys, and I will show you guys the bunny on the next live. I will make sure I have it. I think my daughter might have stolen it today, actually. Sometimes she'll babysit it for me, even though I don't ask her to. So this says Violet. It says, Violet is a sun bunny made with love for you. She loves being outside or sitting by a window so she can see out. She likes to look up first and see clouds forming shapes in the sky, sometimes seeing big fluffy ones that remind her of cauliflower. Others look like carrots, large on one end and pointed on the other. The windswept clouds remind her of newly plowed fields ready for planting lettuce or spinach. Next, she checks out the trees to see the colors of the leaves. They tell her if she needs to put on her hat when she goes through the doggy door. Her ears get so cold after the leaves fall. After that, she watches for movement in the grass. Are her friends out and about come to play? If not, she is content to sit there on the back of the couch and wait for the colorful birds to come to the feeder. Black and Blue and black, orange, yellow, all the colors of the rainbow that she sees in the sky just after a rain. Her best times are when she gets a cuddle. She is a great companion, a silent listener, and keeps her opinions to herself. Her friends know that they can yell at her or cry with her, even whisper their deep secrets to her because she never shares. Violet loves unconditionally and helps others whenever she can by passing the love God gives to her so that they will know that somebody loves them. And like, do you see how like worn and wrinkled this is, Missy? Like, I bring this with me everywhere. I do. I have it in my planner, which always comes with me. And I keep this little piece of paper with me because although I don't always bring the bunny with me everywhere, she stays home. I have the paper in here, and when I'm having really bad anxiety, I literally will just read that. Because to be honest, like living in this world with autism and PTSD and all the different things that I have to live with, um, having somebody remind you that somebody loves you is just so precious. And knowing that like I'm loved in a way where I don't have to change anything about myself. And like I don't think Miss C realizes how special she is or like how special what she does is. But yeah, life is hard. Life is really hard. And to have such a sweet person send so much love in bunny form, um, I wish I would have thought to bring it over here because I would have showed it to you guys. But I will. I will either make a short little video of just the sun bunny and show it to you guys. Um, but having that little piece of paper with me everywhere I go has brought me so much comfort. So like, even if she had just sent the paper, I would have been perfectly happy. But I do sleep with the bunny every night, and it's so cuddly. You're really special, Missy. You are, because not many people do that. Not many people reach out and just like share love without expectation of anything in return. Like you sent it to me without knowing who I was. You didn't know me from Eve. You saw me struggling, about to go through something really scary. And um sorry guys. I love you too. So I don't really have a mom. My mom abandoned me and my brother when we were little, like 18 months and 4. And so like to have somebody that I don't even know. I'm sorry. I always cry on these things. To have somebody that I don't even know send me that much love and like see the support that I have here from so many strong, beautiful women. It means a lot. And like I know I'm always trying to be like super upbeat and positive and say how great things are going because I don't like to be negative, but it just means a lot. I know you're all here for me, Liz, and I appreciate you guys so much. And I always come into these things thinking I'm not gonna cry, and you can ask Jane. I cry all the time. I'm a big crier, you know. But it just touches my soul. It really does because there is no way for like Misty to know that about me. There is no way for her to know what I was struggling with. And I'm one of those that truly believes in God. And I think that what happens in our life is meant to happen in our life, and I think that we find each other when we're supposed to. And she found me at such a time that I really needed comfort and love, and she sent me a bunny. And like what's really interesting to me, excuse me, I'm a snotty mess. Um in most Native American traditions and in the Lakota tradition, the bunny rabbit represents two things. It represents fear and overcoming fear, and it also represents women's medicine. And so, like, through childbirth and things, rabbit medicine is what gets you through. And so I thought it was really interesting that it was a bunny. And I took that as a sign. I did because uh, I don't believe that anything happens as a coincidence. I do not believe that. I don't think any of you beautiful, special people that are here today with me got here by chance. And I absolutely believe that we cross our each other's paths exactly when we're meant to and when we need to. And so I just I just love and appreciate all of you so much. And I don't I don't know where I would be without my YouTube community, honestly. Like Jane and I have become such good friends, and Deanne too. And like I don't have that in real life. Like I don't have a lot of friends in real life. I have a couple, but you guys are really like when I need friends, I'm here. And somebody here always lifts me up. I never walk away feeling downtrodden. I always walk away feeling uplifted and joyous and loved. Most of all, loved. So I have been ignoring the chat. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see. Lori, I have noticed that a lot of people with chronic pain on the spectrum have some sort, whether it be ADHD or full-blown severe autism. Yeah, I've noticed that. I think there is a link, Lori. I think there is a link. I don't know what it is, but I have fibromyalgia on top of all the other things that I listed and autism, and I had a really rough childhood and early adulthood. And I do believe
that there is a connection between the trauma that you go through spiritually, emotionally, and the way your body reacts physically. And most of my friends that have chronic pain have a lot of trauma in their past. And so I do think that there is some level of truth that it's a manifestation of your trauma in your body. So I think that our body keeps score, and unfortunately, mine has a lot to keep track of, you know? I believe that we all meet in the right time of life. Yeah, Liz, I agree. Like coming to okay, I had the worst dislocation ever on Monday. And then I went to Liz's live yesterday and it was so uplifting. Somebody I don't even know donated her amazing, by the way, amazing pattern to me. And then everybody just poured so much love on me that by the time I left feeling like renewed. You know what I mean? Like I felt so much better after that. And it means so much to like know that there's a wellspring of love and life that I can come to and just draw from here on the internet. And like to not get too like ministry about it or whatever. It just feels like God has placed us all in each other's lives at the perfect time. I believe that anyway. Let's see. I sleep with my bear my dad brought me when I was going through cancer. I don't have my parents here on earth anymore. I know what you're going through, Courtney. Well, I am so sorry that you don't have your parents here anymore, Denise, but I do know what you mean about like having that comfort. There's something about it that's just so comforting, you know, and it's sweet that he gave you that and that you have that to hold on to. Both of my parents are here on earth, but unfortunately neither one of them has met my children. And they really don't have much to contribute to my life anymore, which is unfortunate. I still pray for them and I still love for them, but um, you know, I feel like a lot of people on the internet are more parent to me than my parents, unfortunately. Let's see. Denise says you nail it on the Native American traditions, right? I'm Apache and Yuqua. I don't know how to say that properly. I hope that's right, Denise. You can correct me. Um, that's amazing. I actually have really close ties to the Lakota and Northern Arapaho tribes and the Ojibwe tribe. I do have a couple of friends that are Crow as well. It's interesting. Something just made a noise on my window. But I'm not a member of any tribe, and I don't claim any Native heritage. I just I might well, my great grandpa Joe was full blooded Choctaw, but my family doesn't talk about it. Like it's taboo to talk about or something. I don't know. They're like he was a good Christian man. I don't understand it. It's weird. But I do find that I resonate most closely with the Native American traditions, and I've spent a lot of time. I've done several ceremonies and sweat lodges and UEPs with the Lakota people, and one of my very good, dear best friends is a holy man. And I just find that being around the Native American people that I have been around has been really good for my soul. I find God in a lot of different places. I found God in church. I found God in a Buddhist temple. I found God in the sweat lodge. I mean, he's everywhere, or she. God is everywhere. Creator, whatever you want to call it. And I don't personally have um, an organized faith. I would say I have a very disorganized faith, but it's strong faith. You know, most of what I do is pretty disorganized. Okay, let's see. You have that too. Liz is a dear heart. Yes, she is. She's such a sweetheart. You'll be my grandma. Thank you, Misty. Actually, my grandma Judy is the closest thing to a mom I've ever had. And I have got to tell you that having bonus grandmas is something I am all for. Like, you are more than welcome to join my tribe of bonus grandmas. I think I have like 4 or 5 of them right now. So, he said sometimes it's better not to have that. Yes, Liz, absolutely nailed it. Yeah, my parents are toxic AF. Like, they're just not. I don't want to say that they're not good people, but they are very broken people. And I love them very much and I pray for them and I try to be forgiving and understand that at one point they were just very small children that didn't get their needs met either. But it has to stop somewhere. You know what I mean? And so I've decided that it stops with me and my children will never know what it's like to be abandoned by their parents. It will never happen. Let's see. Yaki. Okay. It's the Yaki term. Okay. I hope I'm saying it right now. Your great grandma was Wynad Yandate? Yandate? I don't know if I'm saying that right, Lori. I'm totally just slaughtering these words. I apologize. I mean no offense to your ancestors. Um, your grandpa was Yaki on your mom's side. That's awesome. Do you ever get to go to like ceremony and things, Denise? Do you ever go home to your tribal lands and get to practice your life ways? Did it on the operating tablet twice, and I know where I'm going. Oh, okay. Did you mean to say that you died on the operating table twice? You know where I'm going. I know where I'm going to. I died when my son was born. I had a beautiful experience. I actually on my channel I do have a video where I talk about that if you're interested. Y and dot. Thank you, Lori. Y and dot. That's actually a really pretty word. I know a few words in Lakota and a few words in Arapaho, and I gotta be honest with you, like indigenous languages are really so different and difficult. And the reason they're difficult is because every single indigenous language that I've learned any words in has a different sound for the same letters. Like if you and I think that they all have their own elements. So like Arapaho is very airy and like windy kind of language. And then Choctaw is very, I don't know, warm, sunny, maybe like fire kind of language. And then Ojibwe to me sounds like water. And like there's all these and then Lakota sounds like fire. Like definitely like fire. It's I don't know, it's just interesting to me how different they can all be. And I do think it's amazing, and I support and appreciate anybody who's trying to keep their life ways alive. And oh, thank you. Okay, so subject change. My nails. I actually need to do them again because they're starting to get snaggy. I do them myself, so thank you. I always appreciate a compliment. I did them orange and purple for Halloween, and my real nails are actually that long now. So those aren't tips; those are my real nails with polygel over them. So but I did them for Halloween. Yeah. But I need to file them down and smooth them out and everything. So, oh my goodness, you guys, I've been on here for a freaking hour. I can't believe it. Oh, thank you, Liz. Thank you. Oh, it's in Tucson. Okay. So I have spent some time down at the Four Corners area with the Navajo people, but I haven't been that deep into Arizona on native land. Okay, so Iroquois and Choctaw are also like neighbors and friends. And my great grandpa Joseph he was born I want to say in Mississippi, and they his family walked the Trail of Tears. He lost two of his siblings on the trail, and then he was sent off to a residential school and then adopted by my Amish family that lives in Iowa. And so he ended up living the rest of his life in Iowa. He married a white woman, um, and then they gave birth to my grandma, and just on and on it went. And that's why I don't look tan at all. I can't really. I mean, I can tan a little bit, but not really. Um, but I have found, and I think it's interesting, Denise, that because of the way I look, I have been rejected a lot by a lot of different natives. And there have been a few lovely people that have just embraced me so wholeheartedly. And I've got to say that those people, the ones that do like they live what they speak, they actually live the faith that they represent, and it's not just for show for them. A lot of my indigenous friends have become my family. And it means the world to me because I don't really have family. Like I have the family I married into, but um like I call my brothers and my sisters now, they've become my family. And that's something that is just so precious to me. And I have found that if you approach different people with different life ways with a humble heart, they are willing to teach you almost anything. So I do love and appreciate that. And I love that I can now say that I know somebody from the somebody who has Wyandotte roots and somebody who has the Yaqui roots, and it's, ever expanding. Yeah, I believe it, Lori. I mean, nobody ever asks me what I just like white girl. But if you look, ambiguous, people always want to like categorize you, and they're like, are you black, are you white, are you Hispanic? And most of the time it's like, no, they're indigenous or they're this or that. People never guess that. People never assume indigenous. They always assume Mexican. My husband, he is Mexican, but he also looks very indigenous because Mexicans are indigenous and people don't seem to understand that. But he's gorgeous, by the way. He's absolutely beautiful. He is reluctant to discover his roots. I think he's afraid of what he might find on the Spanish side. And so I'm encouraging him to do that because we have a daughter and I want her to know who she really is. So, oh, thank you, Denise. That means so much to me. Your family in my book, too. I mean, absolutely. We're all brothers and sisters. We are all related, I believe that. Oh my goodness. It is getting late, you guys. I need to go eat dinner. I have not done that yet. So I should probably go. This has been an amazing conversation. I appreciate that so many of you showed up. I will try and do another live soon, and I will, as soon as I remember, I will make a little video of my Sun Bunny Violet from Miss C so that you guys can all see it. Um, I don't know. I know, Liz, that you have a couple of lives, and I don't want to interfere with your schedule. If anybody else have lives and I happen to pop on at the same time, let me know because I don't want to be interfering with your time. But I am going to go because I need to go eat something. It's been too long. It was so good to see you too, Deanna. It was so good to see all of you. I mean, I just really appreciate all of you coming and showing up. Sorry that I cried. I mean, not that sorry, but a little sorry. Um, I just love you guys so much. Don't forget that you are all beautiful, sacred, beloved beings. I am so glad that you exist in my world. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. Drink some water, get some rest, take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves, please, please, please. Liz, I'm looking at you. Be nice to yourself. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Barbara, it's totally okay. I figured that you were lurking, so don't worry. I am all for lurkers. I lurk all the time. So I'm usually crocheting in other people's lives. But hugs and love to all of you too. Thank you so much, Barbara. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Okay, bye.